Okay, good morning and welcome to Iyun with Benzion. We're learning Yevamos, Daf Pei Aleph, number 81. I had Shmuel to give me a litmus test of whether this svara holds water or not, whether it's legitimate chiddush or not. Shmuel's going to give either thumbs up or thumbs down, so you're not going to want to miss it. Shmuel, you got your thumbs ready? Two thumbs up or two thumbs down, or you can give one thumb up and one thumb down. That could also be so. If you're ambivalent, you're not sure whether it's a good chiddush or not, you'll give one thumb up, one thumb down. You ready? Take a look and listen to this. So the Mishnah says in Pei Aleph and Aleph, Sris Chama Kohen Shenasa Bas Yisrael. Sris Chama, we said the Mefarshim explained this Mishnah is according to Rabbi Lezer. Rabbi Lezer holds a Sris Chama does not have the din of a Sris, only a Sris Adam, someone who's castrated by man. A Sris Chama, someone who's born as a Sris, an Enoch, he's sterile, he can't have children. And since the Brisa says in Alexandria and in Egypt they could develop biotech, Pfizer could develop a cure for his being sterile. He could one day maybe have children. He's not classified in the category of psuadak and krushavka, and therefore he retains not only if he's Yisrael, Kedush is Yisrael, and he's allowed to love a bakal, he can marry a Jewish woman, a fully Jewish woman. He even retains the mission says status of a Kohen, and he can be Michael, his Bas Yisrael, his wife, who is not a Bas Kohen, she's the daughter of Yisrael. She can feed her truma because he's a full-fledged Kohen, full-fledged Kedushas Kohen. Kahuna. Now it only says Stris Cham, a Stris Adam. Rebbe Lezer would say has the din of a Psuadaka Krushavka. So it's clear from this Gemara, this Mishnah, a very interesting thing that we had a machlokas on the Ayin Tanamid base between Rabbi Akiva and Rebbe Lezer, right? Who is the real Stris that is included in Psuadaka Krushavka? Is it Stris Adam, right? According to according to Rabbi Lezer, it's Stris Adam, and according to Rabbi Akiva, it's Stris Chama. So apparently the Gemara paskins that Stris Chama is considered not a Stris, and Stris Adam, Kasher Meni, is considered a Stris. But anyway, there's a svara, Rabbi Akiva's svara, Stris Adam is not considered a Stris because he says Chayal Shasa Kosher. He had a time where he could have children naturally. Um, Basically, the svara of both Rabbi Lezer and Rabbi Akiva is that a Stris is not the reason one of the strisim is not considered a stris is either because he had the ability to have children at one point in his life, or he could be fixed. The stris chama could be fixed according to Belezer. He can have a refuah possibly. So therefore, he's not psuadak and kroshavcha. Now, comparing a psuadak and kroshavcha, we learned about that. Someone who has crushed testicles, or his gid, or the corona, or the glands has a hole in it, or is cut off, where he can't father children. Those apply even if it happened midlife, right? Even if it happened in the middle of his life, he was born 100% able to have children, and that's a psuadaka. His testicles were crushed. He wasn't born necessarily with crushed testicles. It happened in the middle of his life. So you see that psuadaka and krushavka is one step worse than a sris. The sris has to be someone who's forever, right? He has to be someone that basically we hold it can't father children forever. And Rabbi Kiva would hold, it's Sris Chama, right? We don't legitimately think he could be healed. And that was Rabbi Kiva's tiny with Rabbi Lezer. And Rabbi Lezer says Sris Chama is okay because he could be healed. Kiva says Sris Adam is okay because he had a time where he could father children. Psuadaka, even if he could be healed, it sounds like even a Psuadaka or Shafka could be healed, or he had a time in his life where he wasn't a Psuadaka or Shafka. He still would be one step worse than the Sris. Why is he one step worse than the Sris? Why is it that the Sris, if he could have a refuah, he would be okay? And the Psuadaka, if he had a good time or he could have a refuah, it wouldn't be okay. Right now, he's still Psuadaka or Shavla. The reason being, I want to explain, getting back into the reproductive system, if you look closely, if you look it up on Google, this is what I did, I looked it up on Google. What's the difference in the word sperm and semen? All right, what is different than the word sperm and semen? Most people will tell you the sperm is just the cells that the male produces, the reproductive cells. The semen is the actual fluid where the sperm is in. I think it's actually a little different than that. They're both, the testicles produce sperm. That's where sperm is produced. They're stored and then they're passed over to the epididymis, it's called. And then to the vas deferens, which is the tube which leads to the penis. It's where the semen is taken out. And there's something else called a seminal vesicle, which adds fluid to it. which adds fluid, and that's called a seminal vesicle, which comes from the word semen. I'd like to suggest that a psua daka and krua shachva, the difference in sperm and semen is that there's two types of ejaculations that a man can have, and one is semen and one is sperm. Not always when a man ejaculates, it comes from sperm also. The sperm has to be with the testes. It has to come from the testicles. A man could just have the seminal vesicle release this semen-like thing. It could reproduce like that, but if it's be'ikr coming from there, so it would be called semen. And if it's the main part is coming from the testicles, it's just adding on the semen, the fluid, so then it would be called sperm. That's my definition. That's my chiluk. So that, based on that, now we can understand the difference in a sris and a psua daka and krusha. Psua daka, basically a psua daka, his testicles are crushed. His testicles are crushed, or he's wounded, his testicles. And also, krus shavcha is talking about not the bottom part of the penis, it's talking about the top part of the penis, the glands, the corona and above, which is related to producing sperm. That is the part that gets excited, is going to produce the sperm. The lower half of the penis is going to be responsible for the semen coming out. Check it out. Ask your doctor if this is true or not. But listen to this. So psua daka krus shachva is worse because the higher level and higher level of enjoyment for a man is when it comes from the testicles, when it comes from the beitzim, the testicles, and therefore psua daka krus shachva, even though it's only temporary, that loses your kedusha Israel because you can't enjoy it to the full level. A sris is somebody who's castrated. It would even probably the lower part of the penis, the lower part, it doesn't necessarily have to do with the sperm, it's more to do with the semen, the seminal vesicle, which is something which is a lower pagam. It doesn't hurt as much, it doesn't ruin the experience as much. And therefore, if there's an ability for it to heal, according to Rabbi Lezer, there's an ability to heal. According to Rabbi Akiva, if he had a shasa kosher, he had a time when he was able to do it. So therefore, he's on a lower, he would be not considered a sris because it's a lower level of pagam, and therefore you need a lesser, if it's not a complete sris, meaning it's not forever, so then it has the ability to heal, so then you wouldn't be considered a sris at all because it's a lower pagam, and you need less to remove that pagam. But a psua daka krus shachva, where it affects the sperm coming out, so then even a temporary psul would be enough to make him lose Kedushas Yisrael and lose Kedushas Kahuna. Shmuel, what do you think?
That's great.
2 thumbs up. Wow,
That's
he gave me
great.
2 thumbs up. I didn't expect Shmuel to give me 2 thumbs up. I thought, the terms I used, and what do you think about using terms like that? I mean, you were probably shocked to hear me use words like that. What do you think about me using words like that? I'm giving a chiddush based on this.
Shock me so much.
I don't shock. This is amazing, Shmuel. I can't believe you said that. Shmuel, I don't shock Shmuel anymore. Wow. I guess he's been around me enough that he's heard me say maybe crazier things I've said.
You do it l'shem. It's all l'shem.
I do l'shem shamayim. Listen, this is part of the reproductive system. You go to any biology book, this is part of the reproductive system.
That's right.
I'm applying the Torah to the reproductive system. It's Torah in derech eretz, right? It main derech eretz ain't Torah. If you don't know about the world, you're not going to understand the Torah. So I know about the derech eretz. I looked into this. And based on that, because I know the derech eretz, I'm able to come with such an interesting chiddush, which makes a lot of sense and really helps explain the Mishnayos, the Gemara. And if you didn't know this Amaratzos, if you were in a real Amaretz, you'd never be able to come with a chiddush like this, and you might not be able to understand the chiddush like this, and you'd probably give me 2 thumbs down. But Shmuel knows about the value of derech eretz. He goes on Google every night and checks out people, places, and things to be ready for Wheel of Fortune, and also to know about the world's person, place, or thing, RSTLNE. He includes those in his searches also. That's from Wheel of Fortune, lingo, whatever. They give you certain letters in the last chance to win the big money. They give you a word and they give you RSTLNE, and you get to choose 3 more letters, whatever. He puts in the RSTLNE, and he searches all the letters, and he knows all about the world, just like me. See you tomorrow.